We just, excuse me,
Want to give the commissioners an update on what the redevelopment commission has been doing in the last year.
Update. Copy?
Yeah. You already know.
All you got?
thank you, sir.
Actually change.
Please change it, okay.
Mostly, George knows about this, I'm sure Dave will have a question, but we have extended this
You're mentioning
sewer
this
water for past city Chevrolet, city Ford, not necessarily for them. There's about 50 acres beyond that that's developable, which he intends to do at some point. So we got the infrastructure there. Gateway Industrial Park, the county highway department did a great job of taking care of the water runoff out there. Excuse me, the road's been paved, striped, and they're putting up the new lights as we speak. I just drove through there on the way here. They look good. Indiana Material Processing is the new tenant in Rail Connect Park. From the outside, it looks like the building is done. I don't know what they got to do inside yet. We continue to work with engineering resources to identify sites that we don't have that we might in the future. And I jumped ahead on the redevelop or on the Rail Connect Business Park, but that's going well. It's now has a second tenant in it. And I don't have the tenant.
I've got these.
Okay.
One more document. This is a draft that we're working through of utilizing some of the TIF for training companies that are expanding in that area. So of course, Bill makes it all sound very easy. This commission has worked very hard this year, and we've had like more meetings than the year before, and that year probably more meetings the year before that. I think this commission has become very active in trying to set the stage to promote more development in the TIF area in the US 30 corridor. And we know that it's going to take investments in infrastructure, like the Gateway Park redevelopment project, or even more investments in the Rail Connect area. If it's road improvements or rail crossing improvements, to help make that area attractive for development.
Seems like we have been busy. There've been a lot of things come before us, a lot of discussions about things, but I feel pretty happy and satisfied with the way it's going. Gateway Park is now a first-class park, which it wasn't before. There's still some available spaces in there. And they have banded together to reinstitute their association. They're redoing their covenants to make it fit modern times. Any questions?
No, but I do want to thank you for the equipment that you got at the highway department. Appreciate that. That's kind of a nice hand-in-hand kind of operation.
Well, we can use TIF funds for something that benefits the TIF district. Definitely,
It really did
benefited the
It
TIF
really
district.
did, yeah. That was just pretty much a win-win situation. Your attachment, so over 200 new jobs.
Yeah, and these are projects that, and these are just the projects where the state is involved in providing incentives. They have a training grant they can offer, but there's really no other source of funding to match, what's becoming, I think, one of the most important factors, which is workforce quality. So that, for example, I brought a request to the commission to partially match the state support for Impact CNC. So as a test run, the state's gonna provide $80,000 towards training at Impact CNC. We match 40, so half of what the state's providing. Local funding, it all goes based, it's a reimbursement basis. They've got to spend it to earn the reimbursement. We can follow the state's monitoring and processing, all that that's already in place. And then, it ultimately goes to, local workers who are either improving their skills or perhaps better paying jobs, or maybe taking their first job, so become employed. So it's a great investment and something that others can't replicate easily. So
All in all, we've been pretty successful in attracting pretty good paid jobs out there, and that's our purpose.
I think you're modest. I think you're modest. I think you all have been extremely successful. I I think there's a lot of counties around that wish they had what Whitley County has, so I very much appreciate all the hard work.
This guy here done all that.
And he does, I understand.
It's a team effort, we had good people all around.
Alan, I had a thought the other day, because I'm not very well versed in this, but certainly Whitley County can use CNC operators, correct? And I'm thinking that's a hard position to fill.
Just takes time.
What, has there ever been any thought to, and maybe I don't know Eagle Tech's mission, but has there ever been any thought to approaching a CNC manufacturer to see if they have old machines or something that they could give to where these kids could be ready out of high school? Or is that?
My understanding is that all 3 school corporations have some kind of connection to private employers where they can pursue either internships or co-op. And actually doing one better, of actually getting students out into the production space.
Yeah.
So they can actually go into that's
Yeah.
allowable. Well, it is better, that is better.
So, you know, we could have something that's perhaps, you know, they don't use anymore, that's sitting in the back
Yeah.
room that, you know, isn't gonna help them, but, or we could just get them out in the workplace and hopefully then if they do a good job and learn, you know, get some basic skills, they'll be able to continue on and get a full-time position.
Probably isn't a popular stance, but it's my stance that not every kid's gonna go to college.
No.
Well,
Kids need skills, and if we can help provide those skills, then keep
There's,
them here.
the school corporations, state and local, are beginning to talk more about vocational education within the school. YLC, for instance, they have CNC machinery in their shop class.
Yeah, okay.
And
I
maybe
wondered.
a day when we have, it, I
Well,
don't know.
and I actually had a opportunity to listen to a speaker Friday. There's a website you can go to called edx, just edx.com. All the Ivy League schools now are offering classes for free online. I mean, the model is changing completely to where it's gonna be more of a skill-based model. You know, not just based on your degree on the wall, but what skills you have and what can improve. And, you know, it's changing for everybody, not just, you know, just folks with hands-on kind of jobs.
The regional partnership and the regional chamber all talk about furthering education. We keep saying college. It's not all college. And they're promoting the ideal, we promote the ideal of training, something that you're trained to do, whether that's trained to be a lawyer, or a machine operator.
Out in front of SDI, there's a billboard for the regional talent initiative that says, you know, survival of the skilled. It's not that you have the degree, it's that you have the skills you can, you know, adapt and,
Well, I'm done if you are.
Thank you for your report.
I've got a bit more.
Go ahead.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know, he's got it.
Before you leave that, Rail Park, how many acres we start out with?
119, I believe.
Pardon?
119.
How many acres do we have left?
70,
Pardon?
75, thereabout.
Okay. And you said in your handout here, there was a choice between 3 states of the possibility of company coming.
Yeah.
We lost it to Ohio. May I ask why, or did they volunteer in for me? Why did we lose?
The site was not as attractive for that project because it was a distribution center, and they wanted adjacent to the interstate with probably like 100 acres available. And, you know, we've got a great site as far as rail access, shovel-ready, US 30 access, but somebody that wants, you know, direct access to an interstate for a large distribution center, that's probably not going to be the right fit.
But we're one of the few shovel-ready sites in northeast Indiana that's got rail
Yeah,
access.
and they didn't look at very many, so we at least made sure of that.
So it's gonna
Okay,
be real.
thank you.
So, hey, I've got the document I shared on the CEDIT projects. I'd be happy to answer questions there. And I also shared, I want to make sure we have copies, but a request for a fiber project. CEDIT fiber, like some of us think about fiber. Fiber in the ground. We're looking at how we can help support projects, and it may end up being that we have more than one. I sent this over, I think, last Wednesday, where we have the ability to support projects that are to expand the fiber capabilities available in the county. And so one that I've been approached about would be essentially a project that would create a new fiber link between, coming from the east into Whitley County, terminating at the hospital. It's a pretty significant project, mostly funded by a grant that's already in place that comes through the Indiana Rural Health Care Pilot Program. It's already appropriated, already in place, requires a 15% match. Parkview's looking to support a good part of that, but the remaining piece we think is about $35,000 to $40,000. So looking for initial support to, if the thing comes together, to have county support for that local match. I think it'd be a great way to access some of the funds and I guess what's CEDIT Project 3 for on-site and off-site infrastructure. Would not replace what's currently available. I mean, I've talked to CenturyLink about this project. They look at this as a win for everybody in terms of expanding what's available. Some of their customers that need two sources of fiber, one gets cut, you still have the other one, or perhaps they have copper in one, fiber in the other. But would be a way to significantly increase the capabilities we have here for high-speed data at a pretty low cost without the community sponsoring the project. And the reason I say that is there are other counties, thinking of Wabash and Huntington, that have recently done major fiber projects where you put up $15 million of TIF bonds to support a fiber build out. And this isn't quite to the same scale, but it's also not with the same price tag either. And not with the public sector, the government being the lead. And instead it's to help fill a gap or to help move us ahead.
The Redevelopment Commission is studying over this thing, and it's going to be important to the business community.
I totally agree, but it smacks of we're helping a not-for-profit organization. Why can't this be expanded? Why does it have to stop at Parkview Whitley Hospital? Why can't it help the whole county?
It's a good question. This specific project would be, the funding that supports 85% of it would be, has to terminate at hospital to support rural telemedicine.
Okay.
So
that's a requirement.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's this
All right.
specific piece.
But then it's available
Yeah,
for
and
everybody else.
we'd be able to tie into all the industrial parks coming, from the east in the.
Right.
So, but
That's important.
where it started though, I could see where we may be able to support multiple fiber projects over the next year or two that would meet different needs around the county. But this is certainly attractive for industries that have larger data needs. What if we had another company who identified and partnered with a product that would support more residential users or provide more wireless solution? It's certainly out there as well.
It's another tool in his box. Attracting this people.
I think it's a good project, but it sort of says that, and you admit it's true, because it's a hospital, that's where the funding comes from, but it does look like we're helping a not-for-profit organization, and we're gonna need to do that for everybody. And can we look at expanding this on and helping much more of the county than just the one thing that absolutely resonated through, I know, I don't want to bring this up, but I have to, the wind energy thing was, how many times I heard you only care about the east part of the county and the corridor, and I want to make sure we don't fall into a trap there. That is our TIF district, I understand that, but I don't want to fall
We
into
do
a trap.
need help in industry in Marlow, we help industry in the South Valley. It's where the action is where we react.
Right. We need to be prepared that if an industry in South Whitley can use this, we need to make sure we can get it to them.
And actually, one of the unstated sort of details is that, the reason we do need some match for the project is because we're asking them to kind of expand how they would design the project to go through the industrial parks and around that part of the county, beyond just going from point A to point B. So there's some added costs that we're helping to support reaching our industries. But I think it's a great starting point toward how do we then build other partnerships that can support other parts of the county.
And it's just kind of a natural growth area. we have grown from Fort Wayne west, not from Warsaw east, where we'd be doing the other side.
Now, so you're looking for CEDIT funds from the on-site, off-site project number 3, which we've already established. I'm not sure where this question is going, but Bill and John, this is important. If the commissioners have approved project number 3, doesn't the responsibility then for appropriation come from the council, not from the commissioners?
My understanding, we simply approve what the commissioner recommends.
And we either approve it or disapprove.
Okay, so you need,
Based on
so all
the
you need is a recommendation from the commissioners
Yeah.
for the 40,000. Is that it? Well, yeah, we still have project number 3, so it doesn't make any difference whether it's 15 or not. Okay. All right. Question, John?
Thank you for your time.
One question I've got here is, we were talking about in the meeting before that there was gonna be $100,000 matching. And did Parkview add in?
I think they're looking to add in more because they're gonna upscale, or I think the plan is to do more with the project.
Works out great.
But, I mean, initially we contemplated, trying to go out and get a whole bunch of sponsors together to, but this is such an important infrastructure piece. We thought, well, maybe the easier and more straightforward approach is let's see what the final gap is there and see if we can put together some CEDIT money to help support that.
Do we have a motion to send a recommendation to the county council in January?
When do you expect, is this gonna happen yet this year or next year?
Well, I anticipate they would, when's it around, April, May kind of timeframe. Looking to get funding together now so they can build out in the spring. So, we still have a little bit of a delay until the actual build out, but at least want to present this to the commissioners and we wouldn't need to actually, sign any checks or anything formally as far as,
You're
to
just making it
projects.
available so we can.
I personally would see no problem in taking, and this would just be 33%. No problem of taking it out of CEDIT funds, but I would like to see a little more of the plan presented to us in writing. Who's going to do the rest of it, and what we're doing, so that we have something in front of us.
Makes sense.
It works?
Not that I am distressing you.
Oh, yeah, but I wanted to at
But-
least put some people
Yes,
first.
you've always been good about having a plan before us in black and white. I would like to see that, and when we receive that, is there a rush on the 40,000?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
that's just my.
We can't do
and that's-
2012 anymore anyway, so.
No, it's just, in his case, I think it's just having it available, yeah, we're gonna do this. He can tell us, yeah, it's
Okay.
approved.
That's,
I'd have no problem in
I
supporting
I guess I can safely tell you there is certainly sufficient money in 2013 on-site, off-site, project 3 that would handle it. So it'd be a matter of coming back, like Commissioner Ethelake said, with more details and.
I certainly understand. I mean,
Okay.
we need to see more as far as what the product looks like, but, if you said, hey, we don't want to do this, well, then I can go back and report, hey, you gotta look somewhere else for support. And, I think, it will be important for Parkview to have some local community support to justify, like I say, we're asking them to kind of go into the industrial parks and then around where they probably would have otherwise with the thing, so.
And I guess as far as I'm concerned, that this is truly what the CEDIT funds were for, and it's for economic development. I think
Exactly, that's the reason we passed that years ago.
Okay, thanks, gentlemen.
Very good.
Nancy here?